Part 1, The Arrival. There's a flash of lightning and booming thunder outside the ship. No one on this vessel was expecting a storm, especially one of this magnitude, and it happening at night makes it all that much more dangerous. Another flash of lightning, this time striking the ship, collapses the sail, causing panic among the crew. The storm mutes everyone with howling winds and a monsoon of rainfall as they try in vain to gain some sense of order. No one noticed the Irish family of 3 that was stowed away by some of the crew members who wanted to make extra money by taking people along at a discounted price without the captain knowing. They were already gone, taking the last lifeboat. Even if anyone had noticed, most would think it was suicide in this storm from hell. But it's the only thing John could think to do to save his family. The ship's on fire and taking on water. He knows it's the only way. John first sets his wife and 2-year-old boy in the lifeboat before another strike of lightning hits the ship, causing the lifeboat to fall, undamaged, into the ocean. Now, with no time to think, John jumps from the sinking ship to join his family, and on impact with the little vessel, his leg breaks and everything goes black. When John wakes up, it's now day and the storm has settled. He sees that his wife had brought jars of canned peaches and bread in her haste, enough to last a few days, maybe a week if rationed, and there's a paddle to propel the ship with and his knife that is a family heirloom. He always kept it as sharp as he could. He starts sharpening the handle of the paddle into a makeshift spear without a word. "What are we going to do?" his wife Mary says while holding their son in her arms while he's passed out from exhaustion. "We survive just like always. I'll sharpen this paddle so we can fish with it, and I'll fashion up a makeshift water catcher with my shirt. We have to survive for Charles. We got on that ship to make a better life for him, and that's exactly what we're going to do," John says, even trying to convince himself while trying to hide the pain of his broken leg from his family. "John, what's that in the distance? I think it's land. Could it really be land?" Mary says with excitement and relief in her voice as she turns back around to hug John but notices he passed out and his right pants leg is covered in blood. She tries to wake him, but he's cold and shaking. She's now paralyzed with fear and grief but hears her husband trying to say something. She leans in close. "Make sure Charles is safe. Get to land and be strong for him. Give our boy my knife when he's ready for it. I don't think I'll last much longer. I'm losing too much blood," he says, startling Mary in a raspy voice, dehydrated from blood loss. As he turns over to look at his wound, there's bone sticking out, and as he turns, blood starts squirting from it, and he lets out a small moan of pain. Mary was confused, scared, and unsure of herself, but even with her mental state, she knew it was up to her to save her family now. John has done all he can till he gets some rest. Mary rows the boat to land, body aching with exhaustion. She secures the boat to a small tree and takes their little rations and Charles ashore, leaving John in the boat till she can find proper shelter. Unknown to Mary, she and her family were being watched with caution and curiosity by a strange native man named Ishta hiding at the edge of the forest. He saw as she hesitated to leave her husband and enter the forest with her child following close behind, clinging to her dress. The native watched as she used the man's knife to struggle cutting down plants to make a primitive shelter, and how she made a bed of large leaves and plant fiber for her child and injured husband, not even thinking to make one for herself till she knows the others are taken care of. Ishta decided that before the woman went back for her husband, he'd leave cured venison and medicine for the clearly lost and desperate family, for it is his way to always try to make this world better for all, as long as it doesn't hurt him too badly. As Ishta approached the boat, he could see that this man had lost all color and was motionless. He drops the meat and herbs to check if he's still alive and if he can do anything immediately to help, but to Ishta's sorrow, the father is already gone, laying in a puddle of blood, and there is nothing he can do. As Mary returns with Charles following close behind, she sees a strange man with long hair and bronze skin wearing nothing but leather pants leaning over her husband, and in her panicked mind, this man is a savage ready to do horrible things to her and her family. This leads to her final mistake of charging Ishta with John's knife, yelling profanities and curses, all of which Ishta couldn't understand. Ready to plunge it into him with all her strength, he notices at the last minute, caught off guard by the sudden shouting and swinging of the knife. He acted out of instinct, sidestepping and tripping Mary, causing her to fall, plunging the knife into herself, laying on top of her husband. She now realizes he is dead as she weeps and turns over to see Charles terrified, venison and herbs on the ground, and a shocked and horrified man.